Okay, CinematicCritic, fresh off from seeing the movie Zootopia. Now, I gotta say, I was looking online and a lot of people have been giving this a really good rating. In fact, based on the couple of things I saw this morning, a lot of people were actually giving it, critics were giving it a good rating, users were giving it a good rating. So I was actually a little surprised, something like Zootopia, especially with The Secret Life of Pets coming up. So I wanted to see if this movie would be anything like that. It started out, well, not that satisfying to be totally honest. Uh, the opening with Officer Hops and Nick Wilde, well, you don't even see Nick for the first half hour of the film, really. It's one of those classic cases where I know I harp on Act 1s all the time, but this was another one of those Act 1s that had a problem. And even when Act 1 of Zootopia was finished, it became a stereotypical thing. She's the new bunny on the force. She's the first bunny on the force. Everyone else is huge. She's small. And it becomes that stereotypical thing. And that's when I thought that I was going to have a problem in the movie, based on that fact, based on this is something we've seen before. Then we get this Nick Wilde character, and the actors, by the way, the actor did do a good job. Jennifer Goodwin as Judy Hopps, the bunny rabbit who's new to the force and everything, who wants to get away from the life. But like I said, we've seen this before. Jason Bateman, who plays Nick Wilde, comes in and complicates things and think that he's going to be somehow able to convince Judy, Officer Hopps, that he is going to that she's not going to succeed. And I think the award for the least likable character in this movie goes to the actor is Idris Elba, and the character is Chief Bogo. And the chief he's like, doesn't recognize any of her past accomplishments, and now that she's part of the Zootopia police force, the ZPD as it's called, he gives her parking maid duty, doesn't give her any case. And again, it's a been there, done that, where we've seen this happen in other movies. So there's the setup of Act 1. Act 1 moves on. It really is a very long setup, but to the movie's credit, there are funny moments, especially when Nick Wilde ends up getting involved with Judy Hopps, when they have to work together, and they're not forced to work. I expected them to be forced to work together by Chief Bogo, but she actually tricks him, and because of that, he is forced to work with her. I won't say how, because it's actually a very funny way that she does this, and that comedy is definitely one of the constant tricks that are pulled in this movie. The comedy is definitely one of its strong points, and that's why ultimately I'm not giving this a 7, I'm giving this a 9 out of 11, because all things considered, this was, even though it's a story we've seen before, it definitely had elements to it that were new, and it was definitely funny. So we get Act 2, and this movie had many different endings. I'm looking for one more person here. I don't see it. Anyway, the point is there's this assistant to the mayor, and the mayor is, of course, a predator, and that's kind of the whole thing that's going on here. Zootopia is where predators and prey live together in perfect harmony. Only they're not in perfect harmony. And that is the whole issue with this film. That they're not in perfect harmony, as you can see by what I mentioned in Act 1. So, what's Act 2 about then? Act 2 is basically, before we get into spoilers, how, obviously, Nick and Judy, Officer Hopps, are going to have to start to work together, stereotypical thing. But what's not stereotypical is a time does come toward the end of Act 2, toward the middle of Act 2, we'll say, where Nick basically stands up for Judy and says to Chief Bogo, no, we still have 10 hours left to find out where this guy is. And find out they do. And I was like, yay, movie's over. Because, we were an hour and 20 minutes into the movie. I was thinking, oh, that's it. Well, that's it. They discovered it. She wins. And now I'm going to go into spoilers. But first, before I go into spoilers, let me just finish the non-spoiler section by talking about the 3D. Not worth it to see in 3D in this case. If you have a choice between waiting for a 3D showtime or going to see it at 2D, you're better off with the 2D. The 2D, there is no in-your-face 3D moments in this film. But, like I said, the voice acting was really good. The characters are well developed throughout the whole thing. It's just, I really don't know what it is with me, but I always find it hard to like an Act 1. And this Act 1, this exposition, the rise in action even, in this, they don't really show up that well. But now that said, as I said, I am giving this a 9 out of 11, and it is time for the spoiler hat. When the spoiler hat comes back off, I will no longer be talking about spoilers. However, as long as I have the spoiler hat on, it is safe to talk about spoilers. So, towards the end of Act 2, basically, they've caught the guy who, they've caught these, they call them night howlers, and they're basically wolves, and after many different things, Judy just says that basically what's going on is these plants that is, for some reason, the predators are turning back into predators. That is, they're not living in harmony with the prey anymore. They are starting to chase after the prey, eat the prey. They're starting to go back to their old instincts. And I was like, oh, this movie just got interesting. There's a second part to this movie. And sure enough, there is. And it's like, Officer Hops and Nick, they've gotten to know each other. They're very good friends now. And then she goes and does something stupid to keep the movie going. And she says, something along the lines of, we can't trust predators anymore, and a fox is a predator, and that's what Nick is, a fox, and he basically says to her, so you don't trust me, you just tell me we're friends, and now you're saying we don't trust any predators? And there was a moment in the film where he actually revealed a backstory, Nick did, that he was mistreated by by prey, as a kid, even after Zootopia was formed. So this is not a Zootopia like the movie suggests. And even toward the end of the film, Judy Hopps acknowledges that. She says, this isn't paradise, this isn't utopia, but, that's what the PD for. But I'm getting ahead of myself, because now we're in the Act 3, where they have to figure out, well, really, what is going on? We know that the mayor is a predator here, and that will actually come into play, the fact that the mayor is a predator. But he does have the best interest, which is why he's locking away all the predators, trying to find that reverted, trying to find out why they reverted back to their natural instinct of hunting down prey. Well, the twist there was actually brilliant. And again, spoiler hat, so, spoiler, his assistant is sick of being pushed around. Now, yes, we have seen this before, but they did a very good job of this, and his assistant is also a bunny. And I just thought, this is actually pretty smart, because, she wants to frame all the predators as the bad guys, and she wants to make the prey the people who control the Zootopia. And so we get this final chase, basically. I won't give too much more away, but we get this final chase where Judy and Nick have to... I should be calling her Officer Hops. Officer Hops and Nick have to work together to, again, there's a whole apology. Of course, that is predictable. But as predictable as some of these things were, they were actually entertaining, and they were delivered well. So, to the movie's credit, there is that. And, I mean, I liked it. Like, I liked this more than I liked The Good Dinosaur. I'd say this is around Inside Out territory. It's that good. Hey, Rotten Tomatoes doesn't lie. It's rated in the high 90s. And so, it should get a 9 from me. Let's see if there's anything else to say. Basically, Chief Bogo does eventually come to accept Officer Hops, of course. Nick gets his dream. He gets to join the police force and become her partner. And there are funny moments in here that would be for the kids, like the DMV being run by sloths. They don't play out too much the animal characteristics in this, other than the predators reverting back to their original instincts. But that's solved in the end. Like I said, the fact that the mayor's assistant was the one behind it all. Apparently there's a plant. The night howlers are actually plants, apparently. And that is what is driving everyone crazy. And it could do it not just to a predator, but it could do it to a prey too. Which never happens in the movie, actually. We never see a prey in the movie. No, I actually don't know if it can drive a prey, because we never actually see that happen. Her family, Judy's family mentions something about one of their relatives going crazy, but I think they said that friend was a predator. That was a little confusing, and there were some confusing moments, but not many, to the movie's credit. And that's really all I have to say about this movie. I'm still excited for The Secret Life of Pets. Let's see. I think, spoiler head off, yeah. Now, Secret Life of Pets, how do I think Secret Life of Pets is going to compare to this? I know it's fall off, it's July, but, this film was able to get away with it, because the film it's about the animals. They are the anthropomorphic figures who are the world. There is no human in this world. At least not a single one I saw in the film. Now, I think The Secret Life of Pets is going to be different. They're going to have to show us something totally different, because the humans do exist in that world. And I saw a new trailer tonight for that actually made it look pretty good. I mean, I thought it looked good before, and then I saw a second trailer that made it look bad, and now I saw a third trailer that makes it look really good. But I digress. In a city of anthropomorphic animals, a fugitive con artist, fox, and a rookie bunny cop must work together to uncover a conspiracy. I don't know that I could really call this movie so much uncovering a conspiracy, because I think that they definitely didn't build up some of the characters. The side characters are not that built up. For example, the mayor and the mayor's assistant are two side characters that could have definitely been more. They did make the mayor seem like he was the bad guy, and for the longest time I thought he was. Good trick, but they didn't really give much depth behind that. Like I said, Chief Bogo, probably my least favorite character, and even when he finally accepts her, he does it so that he thinks that now all predators are bad. And just for record, Chief Bogo is an ox, so he's not a predator, he's a prey. But make your own judgment if you want, but I've told you my part. I'm gonna make this video 15 minutes instead of 20 tonight. So I'm CinematicCritic, signing off. Let's see, I've got 30 seconds to make this a 15-minute video. Let me just say that definitely a good movie for the kids, but it does have... There are some adult jokes in this, so adults, you could still get a kick out of it every here or there. And that's my last word. CinematicCritic, signing off. And I will be sure to see you in the next review. And don't forget to subscribe on YouTube or watch on Facebook.